the branch secretary of Reform UK there, Karen McIvor, who joins us to talk about none other than Hadush Gerberslasie, all over the news for the last few days on account of how he was accidentally, mistakenly released from prison after just 3.5 months behind bars after assaulting a 14-year-old girl and a woman while he was an illegal migrant at the Bell Hotel in Epping, sparking, of course, protests. We've been covering those for many months, and now we're told back in custody and is going to be deported. Karen, I suppose just first of all, just what's your general reaction to what's happened?
Well, good morning. Thank you very much for having me on. Obviously, when the news broke about him being released by mistake, we was all horrified. And our thoughts, as always, are always with the family here.
Absolutely.
But now, since the news broke yesterday that he's been caught, I mean, obviously it's a huge relief that he has been caught. I don't understand why it has to take so long in this day and age of Big Brother when we're filmed everywhere we go, stations, everything. I don't understand why it took so long.
I mean, it was very much played out in the news, like, after this big manhunt and police and Justice Secretary being very praising the police. It took them 2.5 days.
Exactly. I mean, I think we're stupid. It should have been caught. If it was any of us doing anything wrong, we would have been caught straight away. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So obviously, I'm absolutely really relieved that he's been caught. I understand there's lots of other people like him that get released by mistake. Where are they? I understand there's over 260 that have been released. Where are they? Have they all been caught? It's good to see that he's being deported this week. Why aren't the others being deported? How come he can be deported so quickly? How about all the others? Can they be deported so quickly? Julia, what I will say, last night I was at the protest. I've been going every Thursday and Sunday.
Because they're still going on.
Yeah, and you know, last night there was a lot of new people coming out and supporting us. And what this is actually doing, people are trying to divide our community. Actually, it's really uniting us. We are standing strong together. We're all families, local families, and we're peacefully protesting, and we will continue to do it until the hotel closes, Julia. Yeah. It's next to a secondary school. It's so inappropriate.
Well, I mean, it's already been proven. I mean, you're right. That everyone knows you're right. My only concern about closing these hotels, and I do want them closed, I've got one near me. My only concern is, where do they go then? Because unless they are either out of the country, in prison, or in some sort of detention camp where they can't walk the streets, we are talking about people being, living, you say right next to a secondary school. Oh, right, well, in that case, they'll just be living next to the girls or the boys, going to that secondary school in a house next door to them. And then we won't know where they were. I think the government wants them to be dispersed, same as the last Tory government did, because then we won't have a specific place to protest outside, and then they can just pretend it's all gone away.
They underestimate the British people. They think we're silly and we're just going to roll over and put up with it. We're not. We're not. We follow the law. We do everything right, and we bring our children up properly. We pay our taxes. We do everything as we're supposed to do. And so should they, and they're not, and they think they can just drop these people in our communities and we're not going to say anything. Well, actually, they're wrong, and they've got a big challenge on their hands, because I don't see it stopping anytime soon.
No, I don't at all. What do you make of this new report out from the Home Affairs Select Committee? It's an all-party committee, basically saying, the costs have trebled of hotels. They're doing these terrible deals lasting 10 years. Again, they clearly had no intention, either the Tories when they did this or Labour when they've got in, because they've been updating contracts, that this is going to be going away anytime soon. Spending a fortune, allowing these companies to make huge profits, terrible negotiations, and we're stuck with the bill.
You know what? I'd like to see all of those contracts doged. That's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see where the money really goes. I'd like to see who knows who. How come this person got that contract and that person got that contract?
Who knows who?
Yeah, I just feel there's it's panic. It's reacting instead of planning. Panic reacting, and the good old British people have just got to foot the bill and put up with it. It's just so wrong on every level. It has been so wrong on every level for a long time. It's wrong under the Conservatives, and it's very, very wrong under Labour. We need radical change, Julia. Somebody has to say stop. Stop We can't carry on. Britain is broken. We can all see that in our everyday lives.
Yeah.
Whether it's affected in our purses, whether it's affected, you know, with our health. You know, doctors. All you hear all the time is people can't get doctor's appointments. People can't get, you know.
People are going abroad to go private, for goodness sake.
It's ridiculous, and we work so hard as British people. We work so hard, and we're a really giving nation. You know, we help charities all over the world. You know, and right now we need to help ourselves, our own country, and we need to. It's like the aeroplane analogy. You know, you help yourself, then you can help everybody else. And right now we need to focus on ourselves, and we need to help ourselves. Our country is broken, and it really, really needs sorting out.
Yeah, and this is the thing. And again, when people they shout racist, bigot, you know, all these people, and you know, oh, someone's got a union flag or an England flag when they're outside at a protest. Oh, they must be awful. Quite okay for the new deputy leader of the Labour Party, Lucy Powell, to stand in front of 4 of our national flags. I made a jokey tweet saying, oh, look, Lucy Powell at a far-right rally, because that's what they think about anyone else with our national flag. But I think it's really interesting the way you guys and lots of the protesters on this, like these pink protests, say, look, this is about women, this is about mums and sisters and aunts and grandmas and daughters, saying we need to be safe, because at the end of the day, the brunt of the cost of illegal migrants, huge numbers of young undocumented men coming from far afield, largely from countries where their culture and their attitude towards women is vastly different from ours. The victims are women and girls.
Yeah, Julia, can you imagine if we take this back 2 years? Can you imagine if the Conservatives were in government at the moment, and the Conservatives have made this huge error? The Labour in opposition would be calling for all of their heads, all of them to resign. Yeah. You know, now let's see how they react. Let's see what happens to David Lammy. Let's see.
Should he resign?
Well, I think he should. It's under his watch, and he'd be calling for if there.
Oh, he would.
First, he'd be calling for it. You know, there's too much double standards going on. You know, it's like, do as I say, not do as I do. No, the British people see through all that. We're clever people. We see through it all.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more on that front. Karen McIvor, she's the Epping Forest Reform UK. Sam Armstrong, just very briefly, the idea that, you know, David Lammy is responsible for every single act of every single prison officer who signs paperwork to let someone out when they should be deported. In principle, yes, you are responsible for that. And David Lammy would absolutely have called for whoever's Justice Secretary of the Tories or any other party to go, if in this case. But I would have thought it was ridiculous then as well. There is a problem, but heads never seem to roll for this. But should it be David Lammy? Should he resign today? I mean, he's not going to. Should he resign? Should he be forced out?
No, I mean, look, David Lammy's the kind of person that is the reason why they have to put directions labels on a bottle of shampoo. But nevertheless, it's not entirely his fault. Now, however, Ian Aitchison, the former prison governor, said, look, what you have to do is you've got to get rid of the lanyard classes that are running prisons, make being a prison officer, governor, uniform job, a proper public service, a proper job again, and trust the guys on the front line.
Absolutely.